First of all, I'd like to thank our fans for the incredible support of the Pink Out once again this year. Obviously, it's something that's very important to me and my family, and to see the event continue to grow and to have people on board with it is really gratifying for Teresa and I. It's something that a cause that we've spent a lot of time on, that we've lived, and really feel for the people that are going through that right now with family or friends, because it seems to miss nobody. So I just very appreciative for everybody that put a lot of work into making that happen, and for our fans for being so supportive of a cause that's very important to me. Obviously the start of the game, once again, it sounds like a broken record, but to dig yourself a 10-point hole against a possession-oriented team. Obviously, Providence will push the ball at times when it's there, but when it's not, they prefer to get into that last 10 seconds of the shot clock. And if I'm not mistaken, they scored 3 or 4 baskets, a couple of them being 3-point shots when the horn went off while the ball was in the air. So you have to, you got to defend them for the entirety of the shot clock, and that's a difficult thing to do. And when you're behind 10 and you're trying to dig your way out of it, you put yourself in a heck of a hole and in a tough situation. So our guys didn't quit. We got it. We cut into it a few times, and certainly the last couple minutes of the first half was detrimental to us as well, because I think we cut it to 1 and had the ball, and then they hit those 2 threes late to stretch the lead back to 10.
Questions for the athletes, for both guys. Coach Cooley talked about the 4 or 5 shots they hit at the end in the shot clocks, called them backbreakers. Can you talk about the impact those shots had on you guys?
Well, we know that they would like to work the shot clock around, and it was tough because we felt like we defended them pretty well, and they hit tough shots, and like all year people have hit tough shots against us, and like they hit probably 3 or 4, I think Coach said, tough shots at the buzzer, and it just made us we just kept pushing the ball down. We knew we played great defense on them, and they just hit the shots.
Yeah. There were a lot of possessions where we played pretty solid defense through 28 seconds. And then you kind of get down towards that last 10, and we would just have a rotation that we didn't make quick enough or get beat off the dribble. And we just made small mistakes, and then they capitalized. And it's tough, especially against a team like that uses the entirety of the shot clock like that. It makes it hard to get out of that hole we were in. Just kind of we got to have a more focused attention to detail throughout the entire clock. A lot of those possessions, you're doing well throughout 28 seconds, but you got to close it out.
You start off both halves with driving layups, kind of get you guys going. You come in this game with that kind of mindset that you had to be more aggressive.
Well, yeah, Coach DeVries emphasized that we need to drive to the basket on them and attack and transition, kind of like how they did us the first game, and it just opened up a lot of open shots. Like Ricky knocked down a few shots for us, and it just changed up their defense a lot.
Coach mentioned the slow starts. That's obviously been a recurring thing. I guess at this point, how do you guys get past that?
I think big thing for us is just come out with a mentality that it's a big reason why we've lost a lot of close games. It's the Big East is a tough conference, and we don't have a large room for error. We just can't do that to ourselves right now. You have a lot of guys, a lot of this team sticking together. Everybody's working hard, and I think we're putting too much into this to make it that much more difficult for ourselves. We just need to come out knowing that you gotta just say that you can't let that happen. I know it's kind of just saying something, but you got to take that mindset. And that's something we've got to work on to help us get off to better starts during these games.
Yeah, like what Ricky said, we can't dig ourselves in holes against teams like this, because then, like Coach said, we fought a 10-point lead the whole game, And then also it just starts at practice. Like, we got to come in ready to practice right away instead of, lagging through the first half of practice and then want to turn it up at the end.
Obviously, you guys got it back within 6. You're done with those two shots. Just talk about what he brings to that team from your perspective.
I mean, he's a good point guard. He's real poised. He doesn't force shots, and he just helps their team win. And those 2 shots he hit, they were tough shots, but can't fault him for taking the shot. So
We gave 3 straight now, double digits. Are you starting to get more comfortable knowing you're wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting good shots, getting good looks, and I mean, just knocking them down. I mean, throughout the year, it's been close, and I mean, haven't been playing as well as I would have hoped. But I think kind of these past few games, it's just kind of settling in and knowing where the shots are going to come from and having the confidence to knock them down. I mean, especially with kind of starting to do a little bit better, getting to the rim, and that's going to start opening up more outside shots. And if we're going to win these games, we got to start knocking those down at a better percentage. And I mean, I'm just happy that, I mean, at least for the past few games, it can change from game to game. But that I've been able to just knock out the open shots that guys are getting me.
Take 2 more from student athletes. You guys played small there on several occasions. Obviously, playing small puts you at a rebounding disadvantage. But talk about what you guys get out of that when you guys do go small.
Well, I think what helps a lot is especially with Toby at the 5, you got a lot of guys that have to step out and respect his jump shot. And what that's going to do is really open up the lane for drives with guys like James, Chat, and Dev, and Ave. I mean, guys that can get to the rim a lot better. Because it's kind of one of those deals where if we're shooting well, they kind of got to pick their poison. Whether they're going to kind of help in on those drives and allow kicks, or whether they're going to stick out with shooters in the corner and let guys get to the rim. So when we play small, if we can shoot the ball more consistently, I mean, I think that's something that can be really good for us.
How's that change your mindset when you go small?
well, it helps because it lets us push the ball down the floor, and like coach has been talking about pushing it on these teams, and we get a lot of guards that can run out, and then Toby can spot up, and like Ricky said, they have to respect his jump shot, and it gives us a lot of driving lanes.
7-game losing streak, guys. How discouraging is it?
I mean, it's not fun. I mean, there's been a lot of guys here have been on a lot of successful teams. And I mean, nobody's happy with the results we've been getting. The one thing that I will say I'm proud of this team for is everyone's sticking together. I mean, it's when you get to conference play, nothing's easy. I mean, it's one of those deals you can lose a few in a row just as easy as you can get hot and go win 3 in a row. So it's something that we can't kind of get down on ourselves, you know. Kind of got to start stealing games on the road and protecting home floor better and putting ourselves in a position kind of going into, as we get more into the middle of league play here, to give us a good shot to start working our way up the league, but we got to do that one game at a time.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Questions for Greg McDermott? Back to the pace of the game in the second half with all the fouls. How much of that maybe benefit you guys in giving yourself a chance to maybe get back in the game?
It would have benefited us more if they weren't in the bonus as well. You know, I think that was the negative. You know, obviously we wanted to attack. You know, it's the first half we go, what did we go? We went 9 of 16 on 2-point shots, 1 of 9 of 3-point shots. In the second half, we make 6 out of 10 threes, but we go 3 of 13 on shots in the lane. So it's it's tough to put your finger on what's going on with this team sometimes. But I did think we attacked better to start the second half, and obviously that got us in the bonus. And, you know, we did a great job the first half of playing without fouling and weren't as good at that the second half. But they Chris Dunn's got the ball in his hands. He can do so much. You know, his ability to score it and get to the rim and spray it. You know, there's not a handful of guards, point guards, better than him in the country.
Touch on your opening statement, but how big were, they were at the start of the game, and kind of providing them cushion?
It's the game. You know, it's we felt it was really important to get off to a good start to get our crowd engaged to start the game, and that didn't happen. And then we regained the momentum and got the crowd into the game, and then lost some momentum right before halftime. So it's difficult when you're a fan when that happens, and I understand that. It's our responsibility to do something to get them to be excited, and we did not do that at the start of the half nor at the end of the half.
You sat Austin for a lengthy period in the second.
He's not playing well. It's plain and simple. He has to be better. I think he can be better, but you know, we can only as a coach, you have to try something different if it's not working. And I thought Devin gave us a nice lift when he went in there and changed the pace of the game, got into the paint, created some things for himself, got to the free throw line. So, you know, we've got to get Austin back to being himself, and part of that responsibility certainly falls on me, but a large part of that responsibility falls on Austin.
I guess human nature, when you start going bad, you start pressing.
I don't think there's any question. You know, he's never had to deal with anything like this, and you know, certainly it's drug on almost a month now. You know, he was playing great basketball, you know, through our first 9 or 10 games, and his pace was good. He was elevating on his jump shot, and you know, you just look at the stats of the last 7 games. It's not great. It's not where it needs to be. So I think it's certainly in his head right now, but he's 22 years old, and he has to be mature enough to get through that. You know, I think confidence comes from repetition and work. I think all the pats in the back in the world aren't going to do the trick if you don't put in the time and put in the work. And obviously, we've pounded that body a lot over the course of the last couple of years. So it's hard to get in and do the extra work that you have to do to maybe regain your swagger. But that's what he's going to have to do.
James, you point 8 of 12 shooting, 3 assists, no turnovers. How important is it for him to continue to be aggressive down the stretch of the season, but also with him taking a bigger role, do you think that might help Austin or Isaiah get going a little bit more?
Well, that was my hope when I moved him into the starting lineup. I hoped it may jumpstart him, and maybe Isaiah coming off the bench could get back to playing the way that he was playing earlier in the season. And I didn't think Isaiah played poorly tonight. I thought he had a look or two that he normally is going to make. Defensively, he's solid. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's in the right place. But he's also small and not the best athlete in the world. So on the backboards, you know, we get hurt there. So, you know, our best offensive lineup certainly isn't our best rebounding lineup, and that's kind of the dilemma that we're in right now. If we want to put our best rebounding team out there, it isn't necessarily the team that's going to function as well on the offensive end. And you know, it's not rocket science here to figure out that, you know, our offensive woes are a big part of our problem. It's putting a lot of pressure on all the other parts of the game. What's that?
I said you kind of got back to playing with man-led tonight. Obviously, it wasn't very effective at the beginning.
Yeah, Will, I didn't think he had it tonight. You know, I didn't think his energy level was close to where it had been. Now, he got a couple shots blocked early, and I understand that can cause you to hang your head a little, maybe if you're a freshman, but not if you're a senior. And you've got to fight through that a little bit more. And, you know, I thought DeRozier's, I didn't think he changed the game as much at their place with his play around the rim. I thought we were worried about the block shot tonight rather than being aggressive and just taking it to his chest. I thought we almost jumped away from him, which makes it a little bit easier to block shots instead of putting your body on him. So, you know, we got to get him back too. And there's no question, and we have to be more consistent. And you know, Jeff played well against them last time. You know, for whatever reason, the matchup seems to fit him a little better. And you know, I thought he played decent tonight.
Any last question?
Thank you.
Thank